Hey guys, happy Sunday. Welcome back to Speaking360. What are we going to be talking about today then? Well, we're going to be talking a little bit about selling, how it's okay to sell, the attitude of selling. But before we do, just let me quickly say thanks so much for those of you who subscribed to our channel. Every time I mention it, more and more of you subscribe. So I'll just quickly say at the beginning of the video, please like the videos. That helps us get them out to more people. These free videos reach more people when you like, when you comment, and of course when you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you get notifications of future videos. Okay, that's it. Advert over. So what are we going to be talking about today then? Well, as I said, the attitude of selling, and I want to start with this question. What business are you in? What business are you in? When you think about that, what immediately comes to mind? What business are you in? I saw a speaker ask this question 15 years ago now in a workshop setting. There was tables along the front row, and he was going along everyone in the front rows, and he spent about 5 minutes saying, what business are you in? What business are you in? What business are you in? And they're saying, oh, I'm in HR, I'm in facilities, I'm in IT, I'm an architect, and every different business you can imagine. And he got all the way to the end. He said, that's good. Yeah, they're good answers. And they've all got one thing in common. You're all wrong. He says, you're wrong. He says, it doesn't matter what business you think you're in the sales business. It doesn't matter what business you think you're in the sales business. So write that down. It doesn't matter what business you're in the sales business, because sales is the lifeblood of any organization, isn't it? And sometimes we think, oh, no, I don't really see myself like that. I'm not in sales. I'm an information specialist, especially in this business. Actually, it's easy to think, I'm an information marketer. Or I'm a speaker trainer. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You're in the sales business. And the way to think about this, the way he went on to explain it, he said, look, every one of those answers that you just gave me supports the main transaction of a business, which is this: make or buy something and then sell it at a profit. Make or buy something, sell it at a profit. Make or buy something, sell it at a profit. Make or buy something, sell it at a profit. That's it. He said that's business. And if you're not selling it at a profit, it's not a business. Now, if you're in business and you're not selling stuff at a profit, and you're enjoying it and it's a hobby that you're happy with, then that's fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, but let's just be clear what it is. This is the business. Sell it at a profit. And even Zig Ziglar said, when he would ask people, well, what do you think is the primary goal of our business? And people would say, oh, well, it's to help people. And he'd say, yeah, everyone says that. No, it's not to help people. The primary goal of our business is to make a profit, because we worked out a long time ago, we can help a lot more people with a profit than we can without one. So the primary purpose of business, he's saying, was to make a profit. And I think we can all relate to that for our own business as well, can't we? The more profit we make, the more people we can reach. And then he said, well, when I say this to people, guess what people say? Yeah, but I don't really like sales. I don't really see myself as a salesperson. I don't like sales. And he said, well, okay, I get that a lot. Here's your options. You've got two options, basically. Number one, get to like sales. Change the way you think of it. Change your attitude to sales. Think about it. Understand it differently, and just accept that is the business. So get to like sales. And he said, still, a lot of people still say, yeah, but I didn't get into this business to be a salesperson. I don't want to be a slimy salesperson. And so he said, well, then your only other alternative is to find someone and pay them very well. Someone that's good at sales. Find them and pay them very well, because they are your business. Now, for some of you, neither of those appeal. And in later videos, we'll talk about a third option, which is where if you get good at speaking, you have a template and you can create a keynote that converts, then it gives you, I think, the best option, combining these actually. But the best option of all. But a lot of people kind of think about sales as, well, I don't like sales because I don't want to convince people to buy something that they don't really need. Well, is that sales? Maybe that's kind of how some people think about sales, but that's not really what we're talking about. Jeffrey Gitomer said, people like to buy if you think about it. He said people, in fact, love to buy. What they don't like is they don't like being sold. People love to buy, but they don't like being sold. That's true, isn't it? It's similar to speaking, where people want to teach. People love to learn, but they don't like being taught. They want to discover it for themselves. Well, people like to buy. You do. I know you do. I don't know you very well, but here's something I know about you. You love buying nice things. You love buying things you want. So people love to buy, but they don't want to be sold. So the way Ed DeCosta then talks about this is he says, look, you've got to change the way you think about selling. Selling is something you do for people, not something you do to them. It's something you do for them because you want to help them. You're assisting them in that process. So it's something you do for them. It's not something you do to them. I'm going to sell you something you don't want. No, that's not it. You're assisting them in the buying process. He said you become then like a trusted advisor. You're a partner in that process. And he also said, which I think is brilliant, I want your business, but I don't need your business. So I'm not attached to your business. I want to help people who need my help. So I want to add value to people. I want to do that. But I don't need your business. I don't need to sell you. I don't need to make you buy something you don't want because I don't need your business. I want to help you if you want to be helped. Isn't that great? What a difference there is between those two. So when you think about this, what we're really talking about is, we're selling as a service. And when is selling as a service? When is it something that assists? And when is it something that when is it, maybe one way to think of it, when is it something we do for the person that we're speaking to? And when is it something that we do for us? Because we, never mind them, we just want to make the sale. That's an interesting way of thinking about it, isn't it? So basically, when is it manipulation and when is it ethical? And I asked the master of influence himself, Dr. Cialdini, this question. I interviewed him 3-4 years ago. And I asked him this question, the difference between manipulation and an ethical influence, ethical persuasion. And he said, well, it comes down to this. He said, there's factors of influence. And if they exist in the situation, then it's okay for you to mention them. But if they don't exist, it's not okay for you to pretend they do, or for you to manipulate it so they appear to exist where they weren't actually there. So he said, I'll give you an example. He said, I was at the mall and I was waiting, had some time to kill, and so I'm just kind of looking in the different shops. And I went over to this electronics shop and I'm looking in the window and I see this big flat screen TV in the window, and it was like last one left. And so I kind of went in and I'm kind of looking at this and reading the different things, and the sales guy comes over and he says, oh, you like the TV? And he said, yeah, I like it. And he says, are you looking to buy? He said, well, no, I'm just, just really looking. And he said, well, I think I should let you know, this is the last one we have at this price. This is the last one we have. And he'd seen that outside, and he said, yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, thanks for that. And he said, they talked a little bit about some of the features and some of the other things for a moment or two. And then he said, and I should also let you know that this afternoon, a lady phoned me to inquire about it and said that she's going to be over to have a look at it, and she expects that she's probably going to buy it when she's here. And then he said, what happened? 5 minutes later, I'm wheeling a shopping trolley out of the shop with this TV that I didn't go there to buy in the thing, and I'm supposed to be the master of influence, he says. And so he got home and he thought about that, and he said, now the question is, was I manipulated? Was it manipulation, or was it ethical? That's the question. And how do you know? So he said, you know what I did? I said, you phoned him up and asked him. He said, no, I didn't do that. I went back to the shop and I looked in the window, and if there was another one of the same model there at the same price, I would have known I'd have been cheated and I would have written a really bad review for the organisation. He said, but if there wasn't one there, then I would know that he was telling the truth and he was giving me accurate information to help me make a more informed decision. And when he went back, he said, what did you think I saw? I said, I don't know. He said there was no TV there. The space was empty. It was indeed the last one that they had. Now, had he not told me, he's explaining this now, he said, had he not told me that this was the last one, or had he not told me that there was a lady interested who was coming back later that day and she expected to buy it, had he not given me that information and I said, okay, I'll go away and think about it, and then I came back the next day and it had been sold, and he said, oh yeah, I had someone coming over to buy it and she bought it, so yeah, we don't have any more now. He said, I'd have been annoyed because that salesperson hadn't done their job. They hadn't given me all the information I needed to make an informed decision. So they'd done me a disservice. But because he did provide that information to me, I was able to make a fully informed decision. See how it works? It's interesting, isn't it? You can make an informed decision. So it's actually a service. It's ethical. It is persuasive, but only if it's right for them. So they still maintain control. They still can decide whether they want to buy. So it's not manipulative. Now, had he been lying, had he been pretending that someone was coming and they hadn't, and he had bought it, then that would have been manipulation because you're misrepresenting the situation. See how it works? So when you think about it in that way, it puts sales in a different light, doesn't it? Because actually, if you're that salesperson and you do want to help people, it's your responsibility to provide all the information they need to make a properly informed decision. And we've done workshops in the past where we haven't advertised them well. We didn't want to, kind of push them down people's throats. We haven't advertised them. And then people find out and they miss the opportunity, and they were maybe in town and now they need to fly back to do the program at another time, and they could have done it then. So they're annoyed that we didn't provide that service and keep them properly informed. It's a different way of thinking about it, isn't it? People love to buy and they love to be assisted in that process, but they don't like to be sold. So if you can say yes to these things, I think it makes it obvious. Do you want to help people? If you can say yes to that, then okay, I think that it's important for you to get better at this process. Do you believe in your product? If you want to help people and you believe your product can help them, then you want to get good at that process. But you're not attached to selling each individual person. You're just attached to providing good information to people who may be interested, and they can make their mind up themselves. Then you can see selling as a service. And if you don't provide that information, so if you don't try and sell them, if you like, by providing that information, if you don't keep them properly apprised, you're not a partner, like Ed DeCosta said, through that buying process, then you're doing them actually a disservice. And if you want to help people and you buy into this, then it kind of your responsibility to get good at it, isn't it? You should get good at this. You should spend time trying to get good at this, because you can help more people if you do. So that's it for this week. We'll come back to some of these topics in more detail, different areas of them in these short videos in the future. I'm going to, before I forget, Dominican Republic on Tuesday. We're there for company transformation with the John Maxwell team. And so I think I'm flying back next Sunday. So if I get back in time, then I'll see you next Sunday and there'll be another video. If I don't get back in time, then we might skip next week. We'll see how we do. Or I might do it Monday. I don't know. Look out for that anyway. That's it for this week. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless.